Oh, ladies and gentlemen, another disturbing case that I did want to bring to your attention is the mysterious disappearance of Jack O'Sullivan. When you mention Jay Slater, many people know who you're talking about. But when you mention the name Jack O'Sullivan, not many people know who you're talking about. The reason for that is because Jack hasn't had the same level of media coverage as a Jay Slater. Jack actually went missing back in March 2024 and has not been seen since. Jack O'Sullivan's mum has been fighting for answers ever since her son went missing. In fact, she felt like she was being let down by the local authorities and they weren't doing enough to help her find her son. Now, Jack's mum had to hire a private investigator who has done tremendous work. Their investigation led to them discovering an altercation that happened at a house party that Jack was at. But what do we know at this point? What has happened from then up until now? Let's check this out.
Guys, I just wanted to bring you some updates on the Jack O'Sullivan case. It's been a little while since I've mentioned it, so here we go. So on the night that Jack went missing, he actually wanted to go out and he wanted to make some new friends. However, we are now learning that on this night out there was an altercation with a stranger and that he actually fell down the stairs and hit his head before going missing. Jack's mum has revealed that the police failed to investigate that her son had actually fallen down the stairs and that he'd actually hit his head before getting into this altercation at a house.
It seems to be becoming a consistent thing where the local authorities are struggling to do their jobs correctly.
House party on the night that he was missing. Now, Catherine O'Sullivan has said that she's been forced to hire a private investigator to find out more crucial details about what has happened to her son and why he's just mysteriously disappeared without a trace. We also know that Jack was a little apprehensive about going to this party because he didn't know anyone. But his mum encouraged him to go to meet new friends, especially since his other friends had moved away from home. Now, we know he took a bus from his house in Flaxbourton to Bristol city centre to have some drinks with three of his university friends at a Wetherspoons before all four, there was two boys and two girls, ventured off to a house party which had been hosted by a girl who was on his law course. Now, the Exeter graduate had moved back to Bristol for the law course and stuck with his group at the party on Hotwell Road, but at one point, he tumbled down the stairs and hit his head. I'm just popping up the map here just so you can see the route now. Jack's mum's called in support from charities in Northern Ireland and Scotland. Specialist dogs have been searching the route that he could have walked home, which police had ruled out. We know that on the 1st of March, Jack met his friends for a normal night out, travelled by bus at 8:20 from his village of Flaxbourton to the Wetherspoons in the city centre. At 10:45, he texted his mum and said that they'd moved to a house party in Hotwells. And he said that everything was good and that his keys were safe. At 1:52, he then texted his mum to say he was getting an Uber and that he was safe. During the party, Jack trips down the stairs and hits his head, and a partygoer pokes fun at him and shoves him. And it doesn't go any further than this. Jack left the party alone shortly before 3 a.m. on March the 2nd, and he hasn't been heard of since. The last confirmed sighting that they have of Jack is at 3:13 as he walks onto a grassy area at the junction of Brunel Lock Way and Brunel Way in Bristol.
And that's really mysterious. So at that point, what could have happened? He was seen walking along. Maybe he had a concussion from the head injury. Maybe he could have fainted somewhere along that area. But surely by now his body would have been found if that was the case. Was CCTV looked at to see if he was being followed? Allegedly, at one point, the local authorities was telling the mum that they believed he had entered the water. There was a river or a canal that he was passing. The mum didn't buy into it and she didn't believe that her son would have entered the water. This is extremely puzzling. This happened in March. We are now in November. And there still is no answers as to what has happened to Jack.
His family have reviewed more footage and believe they can see him heading back towards Bristol city centre at 3:25 a.m. And you can see up the top there. Police also have footage of a person who could be Jack walking along Bennett Way Slip Road at 3:38. Now, Jack attempted to call a female friend who was at the party at 3:24. When the friend called back 10 minutes later, he answered and said hello before the call cut off. His phone remained active on Find My Friends until 6:44 in the morning, and it pinged at Granby Hill. As you can see the concerns and why Jack's mum has them. The police say that the altercation was nothing and that they haven't got any knowledge of that being a concern. They've tried to look at it themselves with a private detective and they have questioned people. The interview with the boy that Jack had the altercation with, in his descriptive interview, says that he was standing at the bottom of the stairs as Jack was leaving. He told the police that Jack tripped on the stairs and he laughed at him and he said, "You've had enough, mate," that type of thing. Jack got up, he pushed him, and that was the extent of the altercation. And it was described as an altercation.
Okay, just pause there for 1 second. So that guy claims that Jack had too much to drink. So Jack's left waved at his face. He's had a phone call to a friend that only lasted less than a couple of seconds. And that's all we have. That's all we have. Jack didn't try and call anyone else. He didn't try and call his mum. He didn't try and call his friend back. It is extremely questionable. And just like this lady says on the screen, you can understand why the mum is extremely concerned.
There are a lot of issues that are occurring, and we can see from what we are reading and hearing that Jack's mum has not been happy with this investigation, and she wants more answers and is looking for them, and rightly so. And so I just wanted to bring this back into the forefront because Jack is still missing and he deserves to be found, obviously. And it's been a little bit quiet, and so with this information I wanted to share it because I think it's important that he knocked his head, and I think it is important that he had an altercation, and I think it's important that the police had investigated that. I also asked the police if they've spoken to people, and they said that they have. However, they say that they've spoken to people at the party and they've been getting conflicting reports as to what the police have been saying. So I think it is important that we continue to share Jack's information. We continue to tell his story and his timeline and show his picture and this route here that you can see now. For a lot of people that aren't in the Bristol area, that may not mean anything, but if you were there as a one-off and you were in that area, it could trigger a memory. So please do, if you see any posts on Jack Sullivan, please do share them. If you see his missing poster, please share that. There is a Facebook group you can keep up to date in there, and I will keep you guys posted as I get more information. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Make sure you hit follow so you don't miss updates on this case or the cases that I'm talking about. And make sure you are subbed to my YouTube channel, After Dark Coffee and Crime. Bye, guys.
Wicked. I'll make sure I'll pin her YouTube channel in the description. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to it. Conflicting information from the house party. That's extremely interesting. Meaning that the stories are just not adding up at that point. That one said something, but then the person over there said something else. This is really mysterious. We're talking about 8 months this kid's been missing for. 8 months. There's CCTV evidence proving that Jack was potentially en route to the Bristol city centre. But what happened to Jack after that? Ladies and gentlemen, I need to know exactly what you are thinking right now. Leave your comments down below. Hit that like button. Do subscribe to this channel if we are new. We are going to be doing more Jack O'Sullivan videos as well. So if you are interested, make sure you turn your notification bells on so you don't miss out on those videos. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.